A long time ago, in a great kingdom called Babylon, there lived a man named Daniel. Daniel wasn't from Babylon. He had been taken from his home when he was just a boy, but he grew up to become one of the wisest and most trusted men in the land. He was strong in his faith, kind in his heart, and full of wisdom. But more than anything, Daniel loved God. Every single day, no matter what was happening, Daniel would stop 3 times to pray. He would go to his window, open it toward Jerusalem, get on his knees, and talk to God. He prayed in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, without fail. Now Daniel served under a new king, King Darius. The king liked Daniel a lot. In fact, he liked him so much that he planned to make Daniel the ruler over the entire kingdom, second only to the king himself. This made the other royal officials and governors very angry and jealous. They didn't like Daniel, and they definitely didn't want him to be in charge. But there was a problem. Daniel was honest. He never stole, never lied, never cheated. They tried to catch him doing something wrong, but they couldn't. He always did what was right, not just in the king's eyes, but in God's eyes too. So the jealous officials came up with a sneaky plan. They said, "We'll never catch Daniel doing something wrong unless it has to do with his God." They went to King Darius and said, "Oh, great king, live forever. We think you should make a new law. For the next 30 days, no one can pray to any god or person except you, your majesty. If anyone disobeys, they should be thrown into a den full of lions." King Darius, not realizing it was a trick, liked the idea. He thought it would bring unity to the kingdom, so he signed the law. And in those days, once a law was signed by the king, it could not be undone, not even by the king himself. Daniel heard about the law. He knew exactly what it said, but did that stop him from praying? No way. Just like always, Daniel went home, opened his windows toward Jerusalem, knelt down, and prayed to God 3 times a day. The jealous men were watching. They burst into Daniel's home, caught him praying, and ran to tell the king. "Daniel has broken your law," they shouted. He prayed to his God. King Darius was heartbroken. He realized too late that he had been tricked. He didn't want to punish Daniel. He liked Daniel. He respected Daniel. All day long, the king tried to think of a way to save him, but there was nothing he could do. At sunset, the men came back and said, "The law cannot be changed." So, with a heavy heart, King Darius gave the order. Daniel was taken to the lion's den. Before they rolled the stone across the entrance, the king said to Daniel, "May your God, whom you serve so faithfully, rescue you." Then the stone was sealed, guards were posted, and Daniel was left alone with the lions. That night, King Darius couldn't sleep. He didn't eat. He didn't listen to music. He just tossed and turned, worrying about his friend. As soon as the morning light came, the king jumped out of bed and hurried to the lion's den. He called out with a shaky voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, was your God able to rescue you from the lions?" And then he heard a voice. "Long live the king," Daniel said. "My God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths. They haven't hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight, and I have done no wrong before you, O king." The king was overjoyed. He immediately ordered the stone to be rolled away. Daniel was lifted out, and not a single scratch was found on him, because he had trusted in his God. Then the king gave a new command. The wicked men who had plotted against Daniel were thrown into the lion's den, and this time there was no miracle to protect them. Afterward, King Darius wrote a letter to everyone in his kingdom. It said, "I decree that everyone must respect the God of Daniel, for he is the living God. He endures forever. His kingdom will never be destroyed. He rescues and saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." And from that day on, Daniel continued to prosper. He stayed faithful to God his whole life, and God stayed faithful to him.